How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Happy Monday. Today we're going out and we're getting rid of every single elite player in the NHL. We are throwing them on the good old international teams. That way they cannot be in the NHL. Now, if you guys do remember, there was a video we did there in the past where we took out all the franchise players. And when we did that, we was kind of surprised. There's only about 6 or 7 franchise players in the NHL right now. So we went ahead and said, you know what? Instead of doing franchise players, let's really turn this league upside down and let's do elite players. So you're seeing all the elite players taken out of the league right now. The one thing I will note is you will see that we stopped at about an 82 overall. I do believe 82 was the cap right here. 82 and up we went for elite players. I figured, well, we're only doing a season mode. They usually don't progress in season mode. So if you just keep 82 and plus, the 82s are pretty much third, fourth liners. I didn't want to take out every player in the league. Maybe we wouldn't have any players left at some point in time because there are quite a few elite players, especially once you get down to like the 75, 76, 77 overall range from draft picks and stuff. So I did want to make sure we did have enough players in the league and everything else like that. That could be kind of difficult because we went through quite a few international teams, as you can tell here. Some of the notables here, if you pay much attention to who we're going through here, Calgary lost 7 players. Columbus lost 7. Nashville lost 7. Columbus and Nashville seen them big losses there because they both lost elite goalies, elite defensemen, elite centermen. The New York Rangers losing 2. Ottawa losing 1. Philly losing 6. Winnipeg, the Winnipeg Jets lost 9 players. We're going to have to go take a look at that line here real quick for the Winnipeg Jets because that is just crazy. 9 players off the team that were elite. That is how talented that Winnipeg Jets team is right now. I mean, just taking a look right now, absolutely dismantled. I did not update the rosters. They still have Kevin Hayes. They're going to need him. No, they can keep him. They got Kopp. They have Bosselvik, Tanev. I mean, look at the difference this team is now without those guys. It is insane. Now, obviously, they're 56 overalls. They won't stay there. They will automatically go ahead and call guys up from the AHL once the season starts. So those guys won't be there any longer. But right now, that is their 4th line. They're going to have to call up some AHL guys. Teams like, what was it, Detroit, though. I think Detroit was a team they only lost 1 player. A lot of solid players. Guys like Dylan Larkin. Big surprises that kind of guy was not elite. The Boston Bruins, there was another team. They benefited the same way the Detroit Lions. Wrong sport. Get into the football mood, boys. Football's coming around the corner. The Detroit Red Wings, that is. But you look, the Boston Bruins are the same way. Marchand, top 6. Bergeron, top 6. DeBrus, top 6. They had a lot of really solid players. Krejci, top 6. That were top 6 players. Not elite players. They didn't lose them. Did they lose their goalie? Yeah, they did lose a goalie. So they're going to have to work with that. But besides that, a lot of good players the Boston Bruins still get to work with because of that. Take a peek at some of the overalls before we jump into this. I thought if we took all the elite players out, it would really balance these teams out a lot more. It's actually creating quite a bit. That's kind of balanced, I guess. There's some separation. Mainly the Winnipeg Jets get absolutely destroyed at an 83. But otherwise, I guess, 86 to 88's pretty basic or pretty common here. 89 for the Vancouver Canucks. The Vegas Golden Knights also, I think they lost Fleury. Did they lose anybody else? I don't remember now if they lost a second player or not. I did not even write that down. Bad video editing there, guy. You got to write the number down for the Vegas Golden Knights. Completely went over them. I knew they lost Fleury, which is a big loss, so I thought that was going to hurt their overall for sure. Calgary, though, 84 of those 7 players they lost. Columbus, what was they down to? 86. They started pretty solid overall, even after losing 7 players. Who was the other team that lost 7 players? I know the Flyers lost 6. That definitely hurt the Flyers. But yeah, pretty good balanced out league now. Boston's got an 89 as well. So it looks like the favorites going into the season are going to be Boston and Vancouver. We're going to click on Vancouver and see how they do. Little bit surprised by that 89 for Vancouver, to be honest, too. When you stop and think about it, they wasn't much higher than an 89 to start with. They lose their big guns in Besser. They lost the big gun in Pedersen, their young studs. But they ended up, I guess, like I said, when everybody else is losing 5, 6 players, some losing 7, and they're keeping some of their players, that's going to benefit them. That's clearly shown right now, being a 12-6 team. They got to keep it up, though. They started the season out on fire, picked up a couple L's there, but looks like they can't be stopped right now. A couple losses. They go out there, win 3 out of 4, though. They're doing great. They are a 16-10 team, 14-9 out of those Minnesota Wild as well. I think the Wild, they lost their goaler man and they lost Ryan Suter, if I remember. So some big losses over there in Minnesota. Still doing pretty well. St. Louis, another team that lost a lot of elite players. They lost like 6 or 7. They're below 500. You can see it. Calgary's below 500 as well. There's Ottawa, a team that didn't lose much at all. And they are definitely showing right now being able to keep up with that league now. Not as many elite players in the league. They're out there doing well with it. Got a lot of teams out there looking to replenish their elite players. I think the Ottawa Senators might be trying to replenish some guys to get to the cap floor there. Go out there, maybe get some guys that have high cap hits, ain't worth the cap, but the other team paid the signing bonus already, so they don't have to pay for it. Sounds very familiar if I'm not mistaken there. The Vancouver Canucks, though, are we even going to make playoffs? Did I see 41 wins? Either 41 or 47. I should have paid more attention to that. I could have sworn it said 41, which would be a very, very tough time to make playoffs with what about, a 90-some points? Oh, we made playoffs. Not a big deal. Don't even worry about it. The Edmonton Oilers, another team. They got to keep McDavid. That was a big deal. They kept McDavid because he was a franchise player. They lost Draisaitl, but that was all they really lost was Draisaitl, and they lost one other guy. Was it Clefbaum? It might have been Clefbaum. We go ahead over here, though, and we look at the Vancouver Canucks. We're not too concerned. 69 points. We'll take a look at the entire league, though. Mickey D's running the train. Ovechkin, Kucherov, Crosby, Tavares. You can see the guys that are the franchise players, which is nice to see. I was kind of curious with that at the same time. We took out all the elite players. Would the franchise players show their true colors? And they did. 6 franchise players in the top 6. There, we're starting to find some of those other franchise guys. Drew Doughty at 72. DeBrusk at 73. Parise, 74. DeBrincat. Playing well, the young man is. Still only 21 in this game. 74 points for Martian as well. Teravainen tearing it up, 71 points. Over there in Carolina, that line's killing it. Niederreiter up there as well. Go and take a little peek over here at how the standings were for the season, though. Vancouver, 89 points. I thought we had 41 wins. A very low total. 89, 88 for the Sharks. I guess because, was it part of the balancing? I don't know. Maybe it's just a weak division. We'll find out here in a second, I guess. 96 for the Oilers. No goalie for the Knights. Still killing it. Ducks losing Perry and Getzlaf and Gibson. 91 points. That team's got some depth. 103 for Colorado. 101 for the Stars. 91 for the Wild. So yeah, there was quite a few low-scoring teams out there. 87 for the Blackhawks. They didn't make the playoffs? The Sharks had 88. Okay, that makes sense. The Tampa Bay Lightning doesn't matter. 105. It's amazing. It is amazing. 100 for those Boston Bruins. 99 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 99. Even, I guess they still had Matthews. Or they didn't have Matthews. They still had Tavares. They lost Matthews. They lose Freddie too. I'm pretty sure they lost Freddie. Some of these teams lost some big names and still performed. 91 for the Red Wings. We go take a look at the Metro. Rangers at the top. 109. Carolina 105. 92 for the Caps. 91 for the Penguins. I didn't get to see what the Winnipeg Jets did. I forgot to take a peek at that. Winnipeg was in the Central. Winnipeg actually wasn't the worst team in the league. They was the most depleted, the lowest overall, and rightfully so, losing 9 players. Got a 75 overall, or 75 points though, 33 and 40 season. Nashville finished below them. We talked about Nashville though. Them in Columbus and Calgary, they was losing some big name players. 7 of them to be exact. They all finished around the same amount of points. We'll go ahead though, and we'll see who ends up winning this Stanley Cup. It could be the Vancouver Canucks. Granted, Edmonton still has McDavid, and Edmonton is the higher seed in this case. They got the advantage here. Home ice. They're going to lose to us in 4? No, we almost got reverse swept. We was 1 game short of getting the reverse sweep from those Edmonton Oilers, but it didn't happen. All good in the hood. Looks like they're going to lose to the Vegas Golden Knights, though, in about, 6 games. Vegas still looking strong. That team, they had a lot of top 6 type of guys. That's how they got it. They got them in the expansion in the first place. Teams weren't going to give away those franchise elite players. They was letting the top 6 guys work or go. And it worked for Vegas. And it's working for them again in this sim. We'll see who wins the Stanley Cup. The Boston Bruins are going to win the Stanley Cup. Not a big surprise there. Their top line, they kept 2/3 of it together. A very dynamic and dominant top line. So when you don't go out there and lose those guys, it's definitely going to make a difference to your team. We'll take a look at some of these awards. Stanley Cup going to the Boston Bruins. At least now we know. Connor McDavid, Art Ross, in the Memorial. Torrey Krug getting the Norris. Torrey Krug wasn't an elite player. Nikita Kucherov with the lady being the Calder going to Kotkaniemi. He was an elite player. Maybe Krug wasn't above an 82 now that I say that. I thought he was. But Kotka wasn't. He was like an 80 or 81, so that's why he's out there. Conn Smythe going to Halak. The Mrazek with the Vezina. Jennings going to Lundqvist. Edmondson with the Masterton. Selke going to Jordan Stahl. Ted Lindsay. Connor McDavid. Maurice Richard. Mickey D's as well. As always though guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe as well, that'd be fantastic. You're never obligated to. I appreciate it if you do though. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.